personally like oh samini ke rakha karo
He joined the
sister just wait for 5 minutes he will join they have to check whether research person is there or not
because moderator suddenly they changing
but they have this list
here to side
Maybe isn't it?
I see.
Bagi time kini day 2 yan hole.
That edit. Kori dile hoye. System outline na.
hello
First sem, second sem, nahi. First sem, third sem, nahi.
Nahi. Jun kete yaad ase likhte hain hoga. तो आनंदी रहा हाँ सेमेस्टर
पीनीला टाइम फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर उधर से क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं सेकंड वाला करा है
Pani malah ni first sem.
हाँ सर
Kaberi third sem.
प्रियंका टुडू फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर 50 लोगों thumbnail বনাই লগাব লাগে তাহাঁতক এনেকা thumbnail বনাই লগাব লাগে
hello नहीं जोन कौन है 5 minutes प्रज्ञा में কি মই বুঝিয়ে পোৱা নাই আপুনি হোৱাটছআপ কল কৰিছে দুজন কৰি কওঁ
Predictive function बहुत डांगों देखो आस्थान एड्रेस बा हमलोग वेलकम कैसा बस वेरिफिकेशन वो सब 10 मिनट हुआ ये तो 1 घंटा मान लगेगा बेसिया लगेगा तीनटा बस ना आज डेली तीनटा बन होगा
हेलो 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 জয়েন কৰা নাই কৰিম বুলি ক'লে 5 মিনিট ৰ'ব কৈছে
কৈ দিয়া ন ক'ব লেট ফৰ another 5 minutes
আপুনি এনাউন্স কৰি দিয়ক নহ'লে 5 মিনিট ৰখিব না will be late
আপুনি
keeping time
আমি কলেজ के स्लाइड पर कॉलेज के स्लाइड पर
So our resource person, Mr. Thomas Kutti Joseph, will be present here shortly. Meanwhile, I would like to announce that the feedback link for the session will be given to you in the chat box. So do not leave the session, and you can only get the feedback link till you are joining the session. So kindly keep in mind about the feedback link.
Thomas Joseph
So I would like to again mention that we are awaiting our resource person. So he has joined. So our resource person has joined. So I would like to say that our resource person for this session is Mr. Thomas Kutti Joseph, and he will be speaking on the session Entrepreneurship Development Student Experience. So kindly play the slides, Daisy. Okay. So Mr. Thomas Kutti Joseph is the project director, Houston and Floyd, India. He is the founder, Cargo eConnect and Allied Ventures. Moreover, project director, Houston and Floyd. He is also the project developer, Digital Economy Inclusion, Asian Development Bank, Manila, Philippines. He was the World Bank shortlisted personnel for human capital based project from India in 2018, held at headquarters Washington, D.C., USA. He has also experience in working with civic and social organizations. Now, I would like to request Sir to kindly take over the session. Thank you. Sir, the session is all yours.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Bhaskar, for the wonderful welcome and this handle. So I'll just begin the session. There's some technical issues. I'll just begin it within a few minutes.
Yes, sir. Students, kindly mute yourself. Sabriti, Puram, please mute yourself. Kindly check that no students should unmute themselves.
So Eva, good morning to one and all, and thank you once again for the person who are addressing me for the welcome speech, and all the students and faculty of Don Bosco College, Golaghat, Assam, and the faculty from various departments and HVAC coordinators of Marine College, Kutikaram, and all the faculty present over here for the meeting. Thank you and good morning to all, and thank you for sparing your time for this session and all. So coming to the first slide, this is the slide which I used to share in all my public speaking or mentoring sessions, because as being a follower of Jesus, I used to propagate his vision and everything to all the people. I'm not becoming a loyal personality of a simple or a single community, but being my hero, I used to show his picture of, as the very first slide in all the meetings or all the public speaking sessions, in all the conferences which I used to get a chance to present, because through him I was able to do something in my life rather than just having a normal life. As such, others were happy. So coming to myself, I'm Thomas Kutti Joseph. I am the founder of Cargo eConnect, which is a logistics management venture, which was initiated from the year 2017. and I'm the project director of Houston & Floyd, which is a human capital acceleration venture with a global perspective. We used to support different educational institutions in and around Kerala, and we used to have collaborations with different professional organizations and the industrial giants like the AirAsia Bharat, AirAsia Philippines, AirAsia Malaysia, and now we were having association with AirAsia India, but now it is not possible as Tata Sons had acquired most of the shares. So we are not having that much association with AirAsia now, but we are having various professional association with different organizations like IBM or any other many startup organizations which works, and basically Houston and Floyd is a human capital acceleration venture which support educational institutions in promoting the credibility of the institution along with supporting students and youth in the society. Basically, we concentrate on tribals, people from vulnerable communities, towards fulfilling their career dreams to a different perspective than just following the simple curriculum which is being followed in various educational institutions. As we all know, the value of human capital or the value of ourselves in the scenario which we all are being considered in front of any of these interviews or professional bodies or anything. So I believe that the acceleration of human capital, considering the country having the second highest population in the world, is having an implication on creating better wealth and better economy for a country like India, which is having a developing economy. So I talked about all these organizations, and I'm having work experience with the Asian Development Bank, which some of you may know that it's an organization the development of which supports the development of Asian countries. It's like the World Bank for Asian countries. It's Asian Development Bank who is contributing much more than the World Bank, because they are contributing around 1.3 billion dollars for supporting COVID for many Asian countries and all. So I'm having work experience with the Asian Development Bank, and I was shortlisted by the World Bank in the year 2017 for project development. So next thing about my entrepreneurship journey. Being an entrepreneur from the age of 18, was it it wasn't easy, or it wasn't like a simple task to move on. So we'll talk about one habit, multi-million dollar business. We all heard about Facebook, Google, Amazon, Flipkart, and all. They all are multi-billionaires. And as we all know, the world's number one billionaire, Jeff Bezos, who is the founder of Amazon, and all other billionaires who follow the list in the world. So for an entrepreneur, it's not an easy task to become a multi-billion dollar business owner. It's not an easy task because it needs continuous hard work, commitment, support, and above all, the blessing from the Almighty. So while talking about my entrepreneurial journey, so I was dreaming of starting a venture from the year 2017 onwards while I joined my batch BCom or undergrad in MG University, basically in Marine College. So I was dreaming of starting a venture, but it wasn't an astute dream or an intention to have a billion-dollar business or something. It was a simple spark in my mind to have a small business, but I was not aware of anything. I was not able to contribute anything. I was not having an innovative idea. Nothing I was having. I was simply having an astute interest to start a business of my own. But there was no idea, there was no capital, there was nobody to support me, nothing. So a year went on. I was not able to do anything and all. So after that, while I got an opportunity to do internship. So from there onwards, the track which I was following had changed. So while all my friends were choosing all these small shops or organizations in their own rural areas or places which they can easily access, I just went to a place which is around 100 kilometers away from my home, which I need to travel around 3 hours per day for one side. So I went there. It's an institution or a business organization in Info Park Cochin, which is a professional space. So I went there for internship. I was able to learn many things. Than getting a value addition, I was able to convert being a student to a professional who is able to know the professional etiquettes and ethics and the style of professionalism. Even though I was doing an internship there, I was forced to come and punch in the organization at 10 a.m. and I was able to go out of the organization only by 5 o'clock. So I was a bit tense and I was a bit frustrated, like I am not getting any payment and all, but I need to work all these days for that. I spent there 1 month and I was able to have a wonderful amount of value addition than what I was in the past. So there was a value addition for me. The value addition was measured by me once I left the organization and once I went to the college, because I was able to grasp the fruit of how to manage a business organization, how to handle different types of people, how to market a simple pen, or what are the hindrances faced or problems in digital marketing or telephonic marketing, the acceptance, its credibility, authenticity, everything I was able to learn. So the first thing I learned was about marketing. So after that, I was associating with various organizations in a voluntary manner. So I was not getting any payment. So I just went there for internship. I worked from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I was not getting any single penny or a single euro of money for my daily work, which I was entrusted to do there from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. But it gave me value addition. So the second year, in the 2018, I was working in my position of as a volunteer. I was working with various organizations like DBC International and many other organizations on my voluntary terms, and there also I was getting any payment, nothing was received, and I was doing selfless, redundant service to the organization which I was representing and the society I was doing. I was doing a lot of things for the youth, for the vulnerable communities, for the refugees, for the tribes and all, for propagating the peace among the vulnerable communities. Everything I had done for next 1 year, and I hadn't received a single coin. I hadn't received anything. So afterwards, at the same time, I was really concentrating on literature. So I got a state award, which is called Professor Joseph Award, which I got in the very beginning of my second year. So with that, I was able to be a person selected by the central government, by the government of India, for a program initiated by the Embassy of Republic of Guatemala. So I went there. So there was a link between everything which I was doing as a volunteer and recognitions. So one side I was doing everything in a selfless manner without expecting anything, but the other side I was getting many things as recognitions and selections and so on. So I thought of concentrating myself to a different position. You know, I was dreaming of starting a venture from the very beginning of 2017, but nothing had happened. The year went on. Second year, I was fully concentrating on volunteering, refugee support, tribal initiative, peace propagations and all. I was getting nothing, no support, no enterprise or no business organization, nothing in mind. Everything was moving in a different manner. So by the very beginning of the second year, and it had moved on with a bit confusing manner. I went to Delhi and attended all the programs. And afterwards, while I was concentrating on research, so I was very much passionate about literature, as I told you. I was writing a book of my own from 9th standard onwards, which is called The Human Reality, Evoking the Human Reality. So one of my mentor, who is a teacher or a professor from the Malayalam department, he guided me to a different perspective of this literature for publishing my literature paper to a research paper. So I went to an international conference, I presented there. For the sake of God, I was the person who was a bit like small. I was just the age of 19 while I was making my first presentation. So all the people there out there was a person holding PhD or postdoc or double PhD or anything, and there are MPhil students or PG students and a lot more. So from them, around more than 360 students, I was able to get the award for best research paper presentation. It is a bit different year which I was concentrating. It's a research paper presentation and nothing related to the entrepreneurship. So by that, my profile was updated. I was able to go to a different tenure or different spheres in exploring myself. So all these things even though they were not directly integrated or correlated with my dream of starting a venture, I was doing all those things with the simple intention that I must do something rather than getting a simple BCom degree from the institution which I was studying. It was nothing inspired from anyone or anything who inspired me, or there was no one to support me. But there were people or relatives who came to me when I got enough success. There were teachers who were supporting me after when I was able to show myself that I was able to do all those things. By doing all those things, by the end of 2018, I got selected to the World Bank for as part of my project which I had developed, unleashing the power of human capital through RHU. So for that, I was working so hard to get that position. It was a selection after considering all these projects received from different people all around the world. So it was not an easy task. I was a bit nervous, like nervous in the sense, but I was not that much ambitious about that program or process. Will I be able to grab a place? It was simple that me and my guide, Mr. Dr. Bob and Joseph, who is a PhD holder from enhancement, we together developed that project and we just proposed to the World Bank. So eventually it was selected by the World Bank. For the sake of God, we were selected, but there were some problems. Like I was not able to get a visa, and also there were some sticky problems arising at that time. So afterwards, I was waiting for an option or like a probable position where I could integrate myself to a different sphere than this research. So I waited for next 5 years. My dream of starting a venture remains the same there. I hadn't started nothing. I was not having a simple business idea. I was not having my capital. I was not having any resource. Nothing was there. I was simply waiting. But everything went on like in a different route. At this time, I got the selection to the Asian Development Bank, and I was like invited as a project developer and for representing India at the Asian Youth Forum and all. So I went there. I developed project. But at that time, I felt that I was recognized by an international community and an international organization, and I was able to develop as a person from a rural, tribal place in the district of Idiki, a college which is situated in one among the backward or economically backwards region in Kerala, to an organization like Asian Development Bank to represent a country having 135 crores of population. So it was a great thing for me. So I was recognized for all my volunteering works, all my research initiative, all my peace initiative, all my supporting initiative, everything I was recognized because I was taken by them in the full position. They were funding me with full scholarship. I was not even need to make a simple penny of payment for anything, such as food, travel, or accommodation, anything. It was all in a free manner. We don't need to make any payment on behalf of myself or my family or anything. It was fully funded. I was living in a 5-star hotel. I was traveling in, I was living in a 5-star hotel with a suite room. I was traveling in caravans. I was having gunmen with me to protect me. Everything was there. So such a luxurious life, which I got by working hard for last 2.5 years. So even at the same time, there is no dream or nothing had happened to my business idea, or there was nothing related to my business. So every time when I was concentrating on different spheres rather than just studying, there was the support of our guardian angel and the Lord Jesus. Because I know myself very well. Because the reason is that I hadn't delivered any speech or a single public speaking or public presentation up to my +2 or my first years of Bachelor's of Commerce. I hadn't done any public speaking. I was not able to deliver a speech in front of an audience of even 10 people because I feel myself shivering, my heartbeat rises, I'll be like in a very like giggly manner. I was like, I'm going to die and I'm going to like, I was feeling giddiness, and I was truly in an outrated environment while I was just addressing even a simple group of people of 10. So from there, God was developing me, or the guardian angel was developing me to a person who could deliver a speech in front of more than 360 reputed dignitaries from different parts of the world, like the World Bank, Asian Development Bank, United Nations Development Programs, International Labour Organization, and representatives of different country ministers and all these people to deliver and to address those such wonderful gathering of people in a wonderful position of a representative of a country like a developing economy like India. I was in a position that I must thank God because I am the only person who needs to thank God in the world. I feel like the same. God have been supporting me in every venture I went and every years I was concentrating, whether it's research, whether it's volunteering, whether it's social work, anything. God was supporting me towards a position from where I was shivering to address just a number of 10 for my simple, by-hearted speech. I was not able to deliver that speech with air confidence, but I was able to address this wonderful gathering with my passion, with my background of knowledge which I gained through my own experience. I was not referring any textbook. I was not referring I was not getting any mentoring, nothing. I just went there. I just delivered the addressal with all my confidence and all my experience which I had gained through my own experience. So that's the support of guardian angel. Whether you are Hindu, whether you are a Buddhist, whether you are Sikh, Muslim, anything, it is your God who support you in all your endeavors. You must believe in Him and believe in your parents, take guidance from them. As my parents, they are not that much like prominent personalities in my place. They are not that much educated, or they are not a professional. Nothing. We are planters here in our area. So because we are in Kerala, most of the people used to have plantations and farmland and so on. So we used to have such kind of simple life and humble life there in our area. So, but in every event of my life, my parents were supporting me. They hadn't done any bad to me. Even my father hadn't said a no to any of my initiatives from the age of like 16 or something. He just supported me. He just gave me the adequate finance which I need to do all those things. It's bit even at the years where there were some expensive airlines or travels and all. He just financed me in all these things. He just supported me. My mother supported with her prayers, and my brother supported with his intellectual and motivational supports, everything. And my friends, my teachers, everyone was supporting me from their heart. But I won't say that everyone was supporting me, but I will say that there were some people who were supporting me from their heart, and some people who were supporting me with their simple blah 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 of their lips and tongues. It's not something qualitative, it's quantitative for them, because they will like wonderful. You went there, oh great, but in the mind they will be saying that even all those blah 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 things. Once I was able to grab all these, or went to all these places for all these presentations and all, I found that the world or the people whom we see are not the real ones. There are people with better positions, better qualities, better achievements in the world. So I found that I was one among the poorest of the poorest, considering the intellectual, considering the knowledge, considering the quality. We are not having anything to propose or anything to say that I am with some more like in a better position than anyone else. I won't say that, because I had seen people who is far beyond me or far better than me, handling and holding better positions in like ages of 20 or 30 or something. So I told you, I was in the plan of developing my venture, but nothing had happened. So I went back. Once I went came back to my institution after going to Philippines and all. I got a call. Before the Kerala Startup Mission, which was a supporting agency for supporting the student entrepreneurs who is passionate about developing a business of their own at the time they are students enrolled in universities in and around Kerala. Basically, India they do consider, but probably the first concentration or the ice spell will just fall on the students and the graduates of educational institutions and universities from Kerala. So I went there, I presented my business idea, and I got recognized with a prize money of 2 lakh rupees. Prize money of 2 lakh rupees. So I was recognized with the prize money of 2 lakh rupees, which is a seed capital of my company. From that moment till now, I hadn't begged or I hadn't met anyone for the purpose or for just asking some money from them. Like, will you please give me some money for my business? Papa, will you please give me some money to commence my business? I hadn't even asked my father for any penny of money for starting my business. It was fully supported from the very beginning, and every process or every element or every decisions of my entrepreneurial journey was enoughly or was furiously supported by the experience which I gained from past 2 years. So once I started the business, it was the most challenging days of my life because we had employed more than 10 people from the very beginning. I need to pay them salary. We were having more than 600 students working as interns, and we had done more than 1,000 interviews for recruiting students from different parts of India, and there were large number of students doing internship in our company. So even at the event of doing this internship, we were not like this intern salary or anything, because I kept in mind that the students who is coming for an internship in our company must get the value addition. They must be an employable candidate for an organization they do represent. We arrange 3-tier interview process because it's a bit expensive task. We arrange 3-tier interview process. It took a day for us to interview more than 300 students for a simple position of an intern in our company. I strongly recommended all these people to move on in the best possible manner of professionalism, even at the event of doing the most simplest task of an HR associate in a company like recruiting interns. So we were having 3-tier interview process. It is not just to make some selections or rejection, but to make sure that the students are getting a better exposure towards interview and the human resource practices that is been taking place in business organizations in the real world while they just graduate from after their BCom, BBA, BTech or anything. So I was making sure that they are getting the exposure towards the interview processes which take place in the corporate world. So we spent on large amount of money on that. We just had the interview processes and we just made all those things, and we do selected some people to our company for internships. From every internship activities where our company was imposing, we ourselves, our team was sure that we are the best personnel who could guide them in that particular area which they are concentrating. So in the case of human resource management, we were having people who had completed MBA Human Resource Management, or people from TCS, or who's having experience in working with data, big data analysis, data management, and people from Christ University, Bangalore, for handling the data analyst department. And we were having people from this institution called AirAsia, who was supporting all these recruitment process and everything. So I was making it sure that our organization was giving the best to the students and people who are associating with us for the process of doing an internship in our organization. So coming directly to the process of setting up an enterprise, I would say that it is an easy task to begin an enterprise. It is a simple task which you can do as your life, because I would say that it is easier than just going or just enrolling into a competitive university for your master's or PG or anything. It's an easy task for you to start an enterprise of your it's a simpler and easy task for you. I would say that it's easy. It's not a tough task to start an enterprise, but it became tough on the second day after commencing your business. Take the example, if you started your business in September 3rd, and the second day, the September 4th, will be the most challenging day in your life. And the challenge will goes on increasing, and risk will goes on increasing on the third day of October. If you are able to move on with your venture at the same spirit and the same astute interest of moving on with your business venture on October 3rd, commencing business on September 3rd of the same year, I would say that you are on the right path. You can move on with your simple intention of becoming a millionaire. So every business has an option, and every businessman in the world is having an opinion or an option towards becoming a billionaire in the world or millionaire. But the thing is that you must have the personality, the courage, the basic enthusiasm, the motivation, the ability to tolerate risk and leadership qualities. I would say that build your own profile at first, or just grab some capital. If you are having a wonderful profile with you, sourcing capital is not a problem. If you are having a huge amount of money with you, having a wonderful profile is a problem for you. You cannot develop your profile without doing hard work. If you are able to commence your business after developing yourself, your profile, you can become a wonderful entrepreneur. So I'll give you an example. Is there any students from the Department of Commerce, from the Don Bosco College? Sam? Can anyone unmute your audio? Could you please unmute your audio? Any representative from the BCom program, Bachelor of Commerce program?
Yes, sir. I'm Pinina Logan from Bachelor of Commerce, Don Bosco College. Yes,
Okay, it's Pinina Logan, right?
yes, sir.
Okay, Pinina. So, what is your opinion, or what do you think that you are passionate about, or you are very much deeply interested in doing for the next 5 years, or what is the ambition which you need to achieve within your 5 years, or destiny you are passionate about landing in next 5 years?
And I wanted to build my own entrepreneurs. I want to be an entrepreneurship. So that's what I have my ambitions till now. But gradually I'll see how I can carry on.
Okay, so you are a first year student, or which year do you represent?
Yes, I'm a first year student.
Okay, it is the best year, or the you could start your initiative or start dreaming of your initiative from the very beginning. So coming directly to Pinina. So Pinina, what do you think if I come to you and ask you for 50,000 rupees, starting a flight manufacturing company as like the Airbus, or take the example of Rolls-Royce, like they produces the flight engines or aircraft engines in the world. Rolls-Royce are producing the aircraft engines in the world. Probably they are the dominant players in that field. So I'm coming to Pinina, who is a venture capitalist, and asking her for a 50,000 crores or a 5,000 crores. With a simple profile of a first year BCom student, would you give me 5,000 crores, Pinina?
Being a student, as I do not have that much capital, so it will be difficult for me.
Just take an example. You are just a venture capitalist, or take the example, you are the chief operating officer of Microsoft, and once you are there and you are having enough more than money than what you were expecting for your future life, and also you are having a wonderful amount of money with you. So I'm coming to you, Pinina, asking 500,000 rupees for starting a new business as like Rolls-Royce, to compete with them for manufacturing flight engines or aircraft engines. Would you give me that 5,000 crores with a position that I am holding? Like I am a student of Bachelor of Commerce in Marine College, Kuchikkanam. Would you give me?
That will not be that much like I won't be able to like I will be thinking of the risk, like what will be the returns of if I invest that much of capital.
Obviously, yes. So leave that. So after some years or 5 years after that, I'm having the experience of working with the Airbus and Boeing for the next 5 years. I worked with them, and I was the person who was handling all the intermediary or company secretary with the Airbus and Rolls Royce for the next 5 years. And I was at the age of 20 while I was in the on the first day, I was like coming to India and asking for this $5,000. And the years went. After 10 years, I was having the experience of working for 5 years with Boeing or Airbus, and next 5 years working with the Rolls Royce as a project developer in Rolls Royce. And I am having a capital of my own of 1,000 crores with me. And after 10 years, okay, in 2031, I'm coming to India and asking for $1,000 or 1,000 crore rupees, would you give me? Or you are having enough money with you, would you be in a position to give me that 1,000 crore rupees? I'm having 1,000 with me. I just need another 1,000. Would you give me, or would you support me in starting a new business of like the Rolls Royce?
Yes, if the if the business is going well, then for sure I will be able to like if I
Okay.
get the enough returns from that.
Okay, thank you, Kumina. So that's it. Money is not a simple thing which you could gather from anyone or any person. It's something which is valuable more than your valuable more than what do you think or anything. So some people say that can money bring happiness? Yes, of course, money can bring happiness. It's not just an element of making oneself happy, but it is one of the main elements which could make someone happy. So take the example of the same example which I was saying. It is your profile that value for any of these person outside your family, because you just go outside and you just go to any of these venture capitalists or any of these startup mission or MHR or any other funding agencies. They won't give you any sort of funding without having a basically and commendable profile as like a person who, if you're having a normal profile, the profile of a just a BCom student or BBA student, nobody's going to invest in your business. So while I was going through or supporting these institutions in Kerala and outside Kerala, while I just go there for meetings and all, many faculty, even from the institutions, I do support for developing student entrepreneurs. They will ask me for are you in need of any capital or something? I will be grateful to support you and invest in your company if you are having any openings or if you are having any capital requirements in your company. They will just intimate me or myself. I won't ask for anything for any money from them, but they will ask my to me if you are in need of any capital or something, please contact me. I will be more than happy to contribute or invest in your company. So that's the value of your profile, or that's the value of the value or return for your hard work, which you just put on in your profile and your career, like than just becoming a student of Don Bosco College. So Don Bosco College, as I think, it's some institution or college, higher education institution in Assam. Uh, Sometimes you may not be having a ranking, a better ranking in the NIRF ranking or any of these ranking frameworks in the central government or state government or something. So I used to support institutions, or we are having a team of experts from National Assessment and Accreditation, NAC, like a person who are framing this NAC framework with in our team. We just support institutions in having better accelerating their NAC ranking or NAR ranking or NAC grade and all. So once we just take an institution, once they become our client, we assess their ranking and we just pick out the areas which they are lacking. Like some of them may be lacking in entrepreneurship, some of them may be lacking in publication, or some of them may be lacking in placement. So we support that institution in accelerating all those areas where they are lacking to a better position in ranking for being a better higher education institution. So to be frank, many of the institutions come to us. They will give us any amount of money because they are ready to give us any amount of money because they need better ranking to get enough funding from this RUSA or any other agent, central government, MHRD. They will be contributing if they are having a wonderful ranking in the NIRF ranking framework or NAC grading and all. So some institutions come to us and ask like. Uh, Within 1 year, we need to have a ranking within first 40. We'll be giving you this much money and we need to get this much ranking. So for those people, I won't support such people or such institutions because I myself was having this volunteering experience. If I was all these ranking framework or assessment systems, all these things are being developed by the central government or any other agency to make sure that students are getting enough out from their degree than just getting a basic degree from the college. So in the case of NIR fine, there are elements like there are strict elements like entrepreneurship, placement, publication, student publication. All these things are valued for NIR fine. So what's the motive behind setting all these strategies, all these elements in the ranking framework? It is just with the simple intention that the student must get the best benefit, the best possible benefit out of their studies more than what is expected is that they are not a people for just to get a bachelor's in commerce, bachelor's in education or anything, but they must be having more than a degree or an undergraduate or postgraduate or anything. They must be having something more than. So to make sure that central government is putting these criteria in evaluating higher education institutions in Kerala for the purpose of ranking. So I will support those institutions who are genuinely interested or genuinely approaching me with a motive that they need to provide value addition to their students in the best possible manner and thereby increases their grades in all these ranking frameworks. Even if they are not having that much money to money or the training fees or anything to give us or to support us or anything, I would support those institutions and our team, not myself. We are having a wonderful team of people from different academia, professional, universities, different organizations, even the assessment people. We are having Mr. Dr. Agarwal, who is one among the person who is there for the NAC assessment. He is not for just for the peer assessment. He was a person who was designing the framework for assessment, assessment criteria towards assessing higher education institutions in India. So with these people, we genuinely support these institutions in providing value addition to their candidates. From the viewpoint of students, they may think that why should I just go on working with an enterprise or project development or research publication or anything? It is just for the sake of institution I was working on. No, it is not something which you are working for. You must make sure that there is simple element of value addition from your undergrad or post-graduation studies which you just undergo. You are having the basic knowledge about this balance sheet, profit and loss account, business elements, economics, and many other subjects like the mathematics, computer, or anything. But only if you were able to add a a simple element of better knowledge to your existing knowledge capacity, only then the value addition happens. That's the simple intention behind taking a degree after plus two. So if you just go for a master's, there must also you must make sure that there happens a value addition to yourself and the community you represent. Taking the example of many of these students, people say that it's not my need. I just need to get a BCom or a BBA or something from the institution because I can get placement. So coming to the placements, placements are a bit confusing thing because as you all know, students from IITs, IIMs, and NIT, Birla Institute, all these institutions, they will be able to grab a placement in Big Four or Fortune 500 companies or different organizations which hold a prime position in the world. At the same time, some of the students from the second 2% universities or 3% universities will also be able to grab a place there in these institutions or organizations, but they will be getting a salary of 13 to 20,000 rupees for maximum. They will be getting the maximum amount of that, and at the same time, those IITs or IIM students will be getting more than 1 lakh salary per month. So what's the reason? They are getting better placements and you are not getting, or we are not getting better placement or good payment. The simple thing is that we are not having a wonderful caliber or we are not having the basic education to outperform what is happening in the industry or the organization which we tend to have or which we tend to get a position there. The simple scenario is that if I am recruiting a person, if I am giving a 10,000 money to one of our associates, I must get more than 40,000 rupees work done by them in a month or more than 1 lakh rupees within these 2 months. That's my intention as a businessman. The same thing or the more than expectation, they'll be having a better expectation into 5 or into 10 more than what I was expecting or what is my own expectation in basically in having or recruiting these students. So these students will be having basic work experience or entrepreneurial experience in working with an enterprise or a startup at the time they are studying in their bachelor's or 4-year degree or something, and they will be holding a BTech or MBA or MCom or BCom or anything or undergrad or anything. They will be having work experience in working with startups, or they will be the founder of the startup, or they will be chief operating officer of the startup. All these things, when added together, to make sure that the organization with whom they recruit is getting the best possible human resource from the country having the population of 185 crores. So that's a simple scenario where companies value a person. They don't value yourself or as a simple individual who is having the basic BCom or a BBA or a BCA. They won't value you. Even if they value, they'll be recruiting yourself for a simple position of an assistant or an associate with not a with a simple profession of providing you with a basic salary of least 60,000 or 20,000 per month. So it's important that you must be having an experience in working with these startups or organizations, or you must be able to have the basic ability to run an enterprise which you could develop by commencing your own business venture. So after that, this is the ranking of my university, which is 3,998 according to the US World Ranking. US World Ranking basically comes from the employability ranking or the ability of the institution in providing employability. So in the case of your institution, you can just check in Google or you can just make a Google search about the ranking of the university which you represent. It will be basically the world ranking you need to look at, and you will find that it will be below or it will be like in 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 position. So what's the relation with this ranking and as an individual or as a student of an university? What's the simple correlation between or cognition between all those things? So I would say that you know that many of our students, basically from North India or South India or the eastern or western parts of India, they will migrate to US, Australia, Ireland, Canada, all these places as a student, on the student visa and all. But have you ever heard a student going to Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, or London School of Economics, or Yale University, or any Supreme 8 universities in Australia, like University of Adelaide, University of Melbourne, University of Sydney, or anything? We may not be able to get a better position, or we may not be able to get any information about students who just went to all these universities. So the biggest trap in higher education or student visa happening now is that the agencies or agents which we rely upon, so which whom we do concentrate for higher education, will inspire us and motivate us for getting an admission in the universities which is having a low ranking in the US World ranking when compared to other institutions. So we will just concentrate on UK. So how many are there who is very much like passionate about migrating to UK after completing your bachelor's from Don Bosco? Can can you please unmute your audio if there is someone who is passionate about migrating to UK after your bachelor's from Don Bosco?
Sir, me Pinina Logun.
Okay, fine. So you are very much passionate. I think you are the only vibrant student from Don Bosco College. uh, not underestimating all other students, but you must try to speak, because I'm not a person who is that much proficient in English or that much proficient in any of the fields, because I am at the age of 22 and I had just completed my BCom last year only, and sorry, this year 2020. So I'm not a person who is holding a like extemporary title in the society or something. I'm just a normal person as like you and all. So Pinina, what is your intention or what's the reason behind migrating to UK? Or what
Since
motivated?
getting a degree from like I mean like going like studying abroad and getting degree from such abroad places, that seems to be valuable. So
Be
that's
nervous,
why.
be comfortable. Okay, so I'm seeing someone called Reena George. I think she's an sister Reena George. Are you here at the meeting? Okay, I think she's not here. So I will
Yes,
just go.
sir.
Okay, fine, fine. So it's good morning, sister. Sorry, good afternoon. So, good afternoon, sister. Okay. So you're a faculty out there in Don Bosco, right?
Yes, sir.
So which subject or which department do you represent?
Sister, your
Hello?
audio.
So I think he's having some network connectivity issues and all. So I will just go for Mr.
Yes, sir.
Bas.
Now I can
Oh,
hear.
sorry. Yeah. So from which department or which department do you represent, Mr. Reena George?
English department, sir.
So English department. So do you have a postgrad and undergrad there in your institution?
We have only undergraduate, no
Okay,
postgraduate.
understood. So could you please intimate me about your ranking or either your institution ranking or the university ranking in the QS grade ranking, sister? It's not a something like an examination and all. If you're having basic idea about that, you can just inform me.
About our college.
Yeah, your institution ranking or your university ranking in the QS World ranking.
I'm not so clear about it.
Okay, fine. Let's see. So you are representing the Department of English. So how many students are there in your department?
It's almost 50, sir. English
50,
department.
50 students. Oh, so wonderful department. Um, uh, Let me ask you one more question, only one more question. Uh, while citing an example, what kind of examples do you prefer to like cite in front of your student? Or could you please like elaborate a simple example which you use to cite in front of your student? A simple like a situation or something which you use to elaborate in front of your students for like making them familiar with some theories in English or some literature or something.
So when I take a class, usually I take the examples which is related to the life.
Life, yeah, obviously.
Obviously, because literature is life.
Yes.
So I always prefer what is happening in the society, or like that situations only I take as an example for while taking class.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Sister Rina Josh.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so you're from Assam or you're from Kerala?
I am from Idiki, Kerala.
Idiki. Okay, fine, fine. So I am from Kottayam, Kerala.
Yeah, I did my BA in from Kottayam,
Which college?
St. Mary's College, Manavgad.
Manara. Okay, okay, fine, fine. So thank you, sister, for your kind interest and all.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm happy that the Don Bosco College, Assam, is having a group of faculty with a wonderful package of life experience and real life experience in contributing towards the upliftment of the value and the quality of your students. So, may know someone or some representative from other department, like any other department. Can someone voluntarily just like, could you please like
Any other department?
could you please say me something about your department and what position do you handle in that department? Like basically a self-introduction about yourself from other department rather than this English department. Is there someone else?
Personal.
I won't call up your name.
He won't know also
You
his
can voluntarily just
name.
come on and can just make a self-introduction or a personal introduction about yourself and your department.
Introduction, I belong to this department.
So nobody is there. It's not a good message for an outsider while taking a session like
Anyone can just take up
an education institution
any other
from where
department. Yeah.
the teachers are
Teachers
not
are
that much
visiting.
volunteering or that much ardent about speaking public or making a comment in the public and all. So,
Negative message
so
there.
I will just wait for 1 more or 10 seconds more. Can someone from some other department voluntarily just come and make a self-introduction of their own, their name, place, and department they do represent?
Just my name is
Reference myself Daisy Ugo from Education Department.
Okay, fine.
Majority of Education Department.
Okay. So, could you please make a comment on the quality of your students, critically, the quality of your students and their dreams? Are their dreams a global one, or do they have a simple, small dreams of getting a simple placement, or just going for some higher education, or just doing a PG in some institutions in India or something? So could you please make a critical comment on the quality of your students, their strengths, their weakness, their dreams, strength, weakness, and dreams of your students.
Weakness, weakness of our first, I would like to say about weakness of our students. Actually, our students are not much attentive about syllabus and about outside the world, what is happening in outside the world. And strength of our students, uh, they are active in some other works which are very much essential for better development of personality as well as better development of life skills. So these are the qualities they are having. So I'm grateful to them and what, sir?
Their dreams. Do they
Yeah.
have a quality dreams or do they possess some better dreams?
Yeah. So there, every person's dreams are big. So like that, our students' dreams are also big. They want to achieve some different dreams, and they want to become success their own life.
So could you please cite cite an example of one of your students' ambition by specifically citing her name and her ambition
Um,
from your department.
yeah, from my department, Tarecho Intipi is a student of outgoing Rex. So she want to become an civil servant officer. Yeah. Now she is admitted in Dibrugarh University for her higher studies.
Okay. So could you please make a comment on one of your students from the first year about the same, her career ambition and yeah, from first year.
First year. From first year, Anandi Tiga from first semester.
Okay.
She is very active actually. She is very active and whatever we have given, they have submitted it and they have do fast and quickly. So I request to Anandi Tiga if they are on, if she is online. So uh, to do something like that which is helpful to development of our society, and they to contribute something, that means quality, some quality contribution, quality experiences for the society, which is help to development and upliftment of our society, and removal of the superstitions and removal of the darkness of the society.
Okay. Thank you, madam. And one more thing, one more task. So you need to pick up one of your students from the list of participants. So you can pick up anyone which you know or you doesn't know or anything. It's fine. So you can just pick up and we'll have a short like GD or something in between. So you just make a call on someone who is there in your participant.
Let me see. Ajay Bara. Ajay Bara, are you online?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So Ajay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
So, do you have the offline classes or online classes?
We were having online classes, but now we are in hostel. So from tomorrow onwards, we will begin our offline classes.
Offline classes. So that's wonderful. So, yep. So Ajay, what is your ambition?
Sir, I don't have any particular means. I have not thought of any particular dream, but I have thought many dreams. I have many aims, so I am not so much prepared about my future.
Okay, fine. So I think Miss Daisy, Madam will guide you through and having a wonderful dreams for your career and for your future endeavors and all. So, take the example of, you can just mute yourself, actually. So, we'll talk about the Department of Education in your college. So, all are your career opportunities other than what is being mentioned by all these normal uh, scenarios which is being present in India, like going for civil service or going for any position in teaching or something like that. If you are very much interested in doing something great, I told you, it's not something just limited to, or it's not the problem of the opportunities, it's not the limitations of the opportunities what we have in the society or in the world, but it is a limiting factor of your dream that affects your career and your ambition. If you are just looking for a conventional movement in your career, you can safely land in a position of of a teacher, of just an academician or something. But it's not. I'm not underrating it or something. I'm not demotivating it or something. But there are opportunities for students coming from the stream of Department of Education in the University of Oxford. So University of Oxford, there many of my friends, because I'm having some friends from different parts of the world, as I was working with all these organizations like World Bank, Asian Development Bank and all. So there are friends who is studying there in Oxford University, London School of Economics, Harvard University, and basically Cambridge. There are the number of students are very less. I'm not very much sure about students from Cambridge and all. So and like the other universities, basically in from the prominent or the top ranked universities in the world, basically Oxford. So the students who is completing a bachelor's in education from an institution like Don Bosco is having a chance to get enrolled or a chance to be there in the Oxford University for two of their courses, three of their courses, I think. One is MSc Education, International, Comparative and International Education, then MSc Education Early Child Development, and MSc Education Research Design. I think 3 or 4 courses are there, which you can always dream of going and joining this program. So there are opportunities outside the world than just the cubicle opportunities which is available in and around India. You just go for such opportunities because there are people who is looking for vibrant characters or vibrant individuals like you. Your innovations, your characters, your intentions, your dreams, everything is valued there in these organizations. So the fees will be around 26 lakhs or 24 to 26 lakhs per year. It's a 1 year course. You can do it after your bachelor's in education. You can just go to Oxford. If you complete your master's next March, you can just apply to Oxford now itself, because the application deadline is just overwhelming. Like it will be on this coming 18th. And if you need any guidance in putting an application in the Oxford, I can guide you through, because I know the qualities which you must possess, or I will help you whether your profile is having the basic quality to get hired to Oxford, because they are having a different evaluation criteria other than going for all these institutions around the world. They will be having a different evaluation criteria. Oxford is the #1 university in the world. So getting enrolled in the #1 university in the world, it's a great thing. Your employability is 100 or 1000%. You will be employed. And what would be your salary? The basic monthly salary you will be getting, for sure you will be getting more than 6 lakhs rupees for as your first initial salary. I'm making it sure. If you are getting a salary of 1 lakh, I will give you the remaining 5 lakh. That for sure. I'm giving a promise that if you are able to grab a place in the Oxford for any of these streams, after completing your bachelor's in education, you will be able to grab a salary of more than 6 lakhs at your first stage. But I won't recommend students who is looking for salary to that particular course. Why? So you may ask, oh, what's the reason? Because that's a course which you need to explore. Because your professor, Miss Daisy, may be having that explorational creativity and that vision towards education. So that's why she's a professor in that department. So that course specifically needs people who is having the basic skill in exploring. For those students who is going to end up their education life and career on that particular moment after completing that MSc, it's not a course for you, but it's a course for those people who is very much passionate about having a wonderful career and exploring through research, because it's a fully research oriented program. It will be every aspect, you will be following a research in all these courses. There are around 6 courses. It's childhood development, comparative education, I think OB is there, and all these things, all 6 courses are there. And all these courses, you will be moving in an exploratory way of doing research and completing the course. And what makes it unique about all these institutions, all these Russell Group institutions or top 8 institutions in the world? So the evaluation criteria. So they do follow an outcome-based education, and outcome-based education is for them, an outcome-based education is not something which is been assessed through an examination. They won't assess you with an examination, a pen and paper-based test or an MCQ test. They won't assess you with your examination or the marks which you secure or the grade which you secure. So I feel guilty while I was hearing some of the institutions who follow outcome-based education with paper-based evaluation criteria. It's something outdated. It's not outdated. It's something creepy, I would say that. They were using some creepy techniques for evaluation, and they were saying that they are you having this outcome-based education. So let me make it clear that outcome-based education cannot be exercised or cannot be implemented it can be implemented only by eliminating this paper-based test from the evaluation criteria. And for me, outcome-based education can be implemented in its best possible manner only in the post-graduation studies or PG courses. So that's the value of outcome-based education. So in the case of all these top universities, I would recommend you that Oxford, London School of Economics for Social Sciences, and London School of Economics and Political Science, Harvard University, they won't follow an examination pattern, which is assessment is basically placed or taking place through an examination. They will be evaluating yourself and your caliber based on your outcome, which is being perceived after the completion of this so-called course, which will be a research-oriented one. So your students, even if you are from the university or a college like Don Bosco, you are having the chance of getting an admission in the with scholarship. So there are a number of scholarships. There's a numerous number of scholarships for students from India. Basically, it's a developing nation. We're having a number of scholarships. But while you are making an application, you must first make sure that your profile is worth to grab a place in the scholarship. You must make sure that your profile is worth to grab a place for scholarship. It's not an easy task. So if you is there anyone who is very much interested in joining this Oxford University, Cambridge University, Harvard University, or London School of Economics for their higher studies? Is there anyone here?
Will you sponsor you to ask him?
Is there anyone here who is planning to go for masters in?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello, sir. Hello, Thomas.
Yes.
I am Father Bimal Lakra. I am the Vice Principal of Don Bosco College, Golaghat.
Okay.
The opportunities and description of who wants to join London School of Economics or whatever you are saying. This, of course, we are in Don Bosco College, Golaghat, but a bit of information about the background of our Don Bosco College, Golaghat would perhaps change the course of examples which is being given. We are in a very, very remote and in a very, very, let us say, economically backward place we are operating, where our monthly fees is that 800 rupees. Monthly fees is 800 rupees. And the monthly income of the parents of the children who are there, it is 3,000 to 5,000 rupees. So it is nice to give an example of where 1 year cost is 25 lakh rupees and 35 lakh rupees, but it becomes like promising a moon to a small child. So can you give us, so I thought of giving you the background in which we are operating. Maybe perhaps you are Don Bosco. Definitely, we are a world-renowned organization, and we do have institutions where students can go. But the situation of Don Bosco College, Golaghat, is quite remote from the presentation and the job opportunities which are being offered by you. So could you give some kind of opportunities and some kind of guidance to the category of the students I mentioned just now, who pay 800 rupees, and that also it is quite very difficult even to get that much of money. And so that is the background and that is the situation on which we are operating. So keeping that in mind, perhaps the course of the discourse and the examples which are being quoted could be changed a bit. Even the example which you gave of Airbus or of jets and all this, of course, in theory we can do, but for our students to think of that and the opportunities of that, you are asking 500 crores and to be given on loan, it doesn't fit into our whole system like that. So I thought of giving you this information so that also the examples and the ideas that are being given, which becomes a bit more practical and applicable for our students. Okay, thank you. That was the intervention I wanted.
Okay, thank you, Father. So I was saying about all these fees and all. So the thing which I was going to say is that you will be able to get a position for fully funded scholarship in all these institutions. That's what I was going to say. So what does this fully funded scholarship cover? This fully funded scholarship covers your full tuition fees, which is 26 lakhs. It will be fully covered by the various institutions which is providing this fully funded scholarship. So you need not need to worry about your fees. So next, your flight ticket. It may be around 60,000 rupees. It will be fully covered. Your living expense. You will be having around 10,000 euros or 10 to 12,000 euros for an year. In the UK, it will be fully covered by the host organization. It will be providing host scholarships. There are scholarship opportunities like that. And you will be given the traveling allowance, insurance, laundry allowance, the full tuition fee waiver, and living allowance. So for a student, they will be providing more than 5,000 euro as per, I think more than 5,000, there is some amount like that as scholarship for these students. So what's the reason behind noting or stating that such type of information in front of students like you? So I was just a student, or even I came from a rural background in Kerala, and I told my father and mother, they are not that much rich and all. But the moment from where I get a transformation is that once one of my professor, one of my teacher in school, her name is Krishna ma'am. So she was quoting the example of like Lionel Robbins, you know, he's from the economics and all. So he was quoting the example of Lionel Robbins, stating that he is from the prestigious London School of Economics. So that's the turning point in my life, concentrating on all these international organizations and institutions. I told you now, I'm not having the enough money. My parents are not rich. They may not be able to bear my flight ticket to US, nothing. But from that moment onwards, my thinking and everything was a bit conscious, and I was concentrating on London School of Economics because I need to know what is London School of Economics. So that's the power of the professor or a teacher who is guiding the students. So if you are stating the example of the rural areas where a carpenter does this or a lorry driver does this, I may not be able to do all those things as a project developer in Asian Development Bank. I will just go and sit there in Marine College and complete my bachelor's in commerce and move on in my life as a commerce graduate. But I was possibly able to do all those things with a simple vision or a deviation which I had made in my thinking abilities through my capacity or through my intention in doing something as like others or as not like just like others. I need to be a better competent individual who need to be associating with various international organizations, all these changes, all these thinking revolution happened with the simple citation made by my teacher in my plus two. So Krishna ma'am, I'm always thankful to her for making such type of valuable citation in front of students, because that makes the spark in the mind of every student listening to that. So that's the quality of the lecturer and teacher. If you are just citing the example, always the example of some local things or something, you won't become passionate. You can just go on with like students understand or not. That's not the reason. You must cite, because teachers are the person who could take your students to the world. If you are taking your students to the district of Assam, it's not a great thing. But if you are able to take your students to the world by through your lectures, you will be a quality, you will be a person with quality lecturing ability. So that's the reason why, if, from my example, I was stating. So coming directly to this scholarships and 25 lakhs I was stating, while I was studying in my second year, I got an opportunity to go for an exchange program in the University of Amsterdam. So I'm stating it only because to make you know that all these things covers everything which you need to or you must be aware about or conscious about. So that exchange program for the next 1.5 years of my studies, while I completed my 3 semesters in Marian, it covers my tuition fees, my flight tickets to and for flight tickets, it basically is economic class, and my living allowance, my accommodation, my laundry allowance, my insurance, individual insurance, and even they were offering me the basic amount to purchase a second-hand bike there, and party entrance or club like entrance for club entrance in the weekends or by the end of months and all. So everything is covered because they are giving the consideration and the the credibility as an individual from a developing economy. They will be treating you just like your parents. They will be giving all those things, all this support. Only thing that you must be having a competent profile. So that's the reason why I was stating all those things, because there are scholarships covers everything. You need not need to worry about anything as like the ones of your flight ticket, your fees, nothing. You don't need to worry about all those things. You will be getting all the funding from these scholarship providing agencies. Basically, universities provide scholarships. So that's the reason why I was stating this. I know because I cannot see or because I treat people in a better position than myself, because I know I am not from a rich family. So I consider everyone as the more richer or in a better position than myself. That's why reason why I was stating. So even if a person from the very rural areas representing the tribal village in the district of Idiki from Kerala, I was able to go. I was able to go to Philippines. I was able to go Malaysia. I was able to get selection for the World Bank to be at the World Bank headquarters in the US. Everything was not with the money of my parents. I hadn't borrowed any money or a single rupee from my parents traveling to all these areas or going to all these places. It was fully funded by these agencies. It was in, while I was studying the third year, I was getting all these opportunities. So there are opportunities if you are ready to explore. So that's the support I could give in maintaining a better rhythm for your career life. So that's the reason why I was citing all these examples for you. While talking about all these things and project development in the Asian Development Bank and all, I was not a competent candidate with a post graduation or an MPhil or anything. I was just having my bachelor's, but along with that, I was the founder of a startup company. I was holding the position of the CEO of the IED's Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development Cell, and I was the ambassador of the Global Peace Field. These things anybody in the world or even the students from Assam can do with your simple mobile phone. That's what is required. Nothing more is required. If you are having a mobile phone, that's the biggest wealth you are having. I'm so happy that you students are attending this webinar for last 1 hour, I think. You're having the internet connection. even if from the university you are having internet connection, you are having your telephone or a laptop with you. So this is the best treasure you are having in this century. So I was doing all those things without having a laptop with me. So while while going for while talking to a person who is in a better complicated question than yours, I could easily say that it is possible for all of you to grab all those things and all those questions if you are having a simple intention to do something. If you are having a simple intention to be better, to be a better individual than others, to be a better student than others in your class, to be a better faculty than other faculty in the class. So that's what I was asking. I'm just, I would always go for these lectures or supporting institutions in any part of India or different parts of world. I think I was even taking sessions for students from Bangladesh. They may be poor. They may not be having a single rupee with them. They may not be having a basic. There are students without having mobile phones. There were students without having mobile phones in my class. So you just think that you are luckier or the best luckiest person in the world. You are having a mobile phone. It's enough. A mobile phone and internet connection is enough for you to get a place in as a project developer, as Asian development bank. You can become the founder of a startup. You can just go to all these places like Philippines or Malaysia. You can stay there in five-star hotel with all the expense you will be earned by others. If you are having the simple mindset that you need to do something better. So it's irrelevant that your parents' salary, your mother's job, your father's job, your university you represent. But it is the passion you must have and the motivation or I told you now, the guardian. There must be guardians who are ready to support you. It can be your faculty, it can be the institution agents or authorities. Even if you are not having enough opportunities there, the moral support of your parents can be taken as motivation for going to all these years for all these things and all. Human capital. So I am concentrating on human capital acceleration project. Basically, it was selected by the World Bank, and I used to work with Asian Development Bank for human capital acceleration project. Father was stating like Vimal Lakh, I think. So he was stating the situation of people having any income of less than this 600 or a monthly fees of 800. I know people from other countries. I will just give an example. You just go and Google the Republic of Moldova, which is the poorest country in the European Union. They may be having the earnings or the daily wages or income than your they may be having monthly earnings less than your college fee. So you may be able to make a comment on the position of those students and those people who live there. There are African countries. There are people from other third world countries who is having the basic monthly income which is far less than what is your quoted in your tuition fees and there. So there are situations there. Jamaica is not a
115 you can join me.
Sound.
but Usain Bolt was from Jamaica. It's his vision and it's his hard work what makes the change. No other thing. So if Usain Bolt was simply concentrating on running throughout his field, party field from morning to the evening, he won't become an Olympics gold medalist or a world record holder. There are people with a vision to guide him. That's the thing which we need. Otherwise, Usain Bolt will be there in the party field or there in the desert running throughout the day from the very morning to the very evening, simply running and not having any achievements, nothing, no earnings. So now you may be able to just Google and find out the basic earnings of Usain Bolt from Jamaica, which is the poorest country, or it is that much a wonderful country from the world. So it's all possible. So it's your passion and your vision and your ambition which need to drive you. So I told you now, it's easy for anyone of you to commence a business of your own and to develop business. So for commencing a business, you must have a basic idea, you must have a prototype, and it must be implemented with a supporting mechanism. There are different agencies, from central agencies like MHRD or Startup India or any other state agencies that will support your business venture through funding support up to 60 lakh you can get from the central agencies if you having an innovative business idea. So all these things are possible, and there are migration opportunities which I had already addressed with fully funded scholarship. Everything is possible. You just don't limit your dreams and your vision to Assam or India or just UK. You just need to dream bigger, dream globally. So everything is possible. From my side, from a single individual at the age of 22, I was able to do all those things with the simple grace of God, the grace of Almighty, the Lord Jesus. So everything is possible if you are having the simple vision and passion to do something. So thank you for the organizers and people from the IQAC of Marine College Vijayanam, and the representatives and faculty, the principal, and all other people from representing the Don Bosco College, Assam. So I would just give my number in the chat box. You can just contact me anytime. It's not a problem that you are not that much fluent in English or that much fluent in that much good in English, and not a problem. You can contact me as and when you need some guidance related to scholarships or developing some business venture or anything. Even from the event of project development, research, representation, publications, and all, I can support you. Even the faculties, I can support you from my side. It's basically from my own experience, and I'm only talking from some elaborated figures or something. So thank you so much, everyone, for your support, and thanks so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your encouraging words and your ideas and your inspiring words to dream big for our students. I would also like to apologize for the fact that some teachers could not respond to your questions. Since I also belong to the Department of English, I could not respond. And since all the teachers are centrally muted, so it took time for the administrator to unmute them. So therefore, sorry for the problem. Thank you, sir. So with this, we end the session. We will meet again at 1:45. Okay, so thank you, students. So we will now, this is a break. So we'll meet again at 1:45. Thank you so much.